Welcome to the No Pitch Big Fish Marketing Workshop. I'm Conrad Iwanicki, Creative Manager here at DMC.
And I'm Devin Herz, the founder of DMC.
We got all kinds of great stuff lined up for you today. We're going to go through the anatomy of a successful campaign. We also have guest speakers Preston, Rahne, and Tom Feltenstein. And for a special added bonus at the end, we're going to teach you how to get the whale clients you seek so desperately.
Oh yeah, today's going to be a great day, so we appreciate you joining us. Sit back, relax, take some great notes. We look forward to helping your business out and always looking forward to making your marketing a true success.
Well, I guess before we get too deep into things, a good place to start, how did you get your start in this business?
Sure, well let me go way back till when I was about 16. I had the privilege and the opportunity to work with the New York Yankees, and I got to see the way the boss, George Steinbrenner, really ran his organization. Everything from the way they brand their team, their materials, and the inner workings of the Yankees and how professional they were. So that really was a good base, and that winning mentality was something that I wanted to take forth to any business that I was in. Fast forward a little bit to my college years. Sophomore year, I decided along with one of my best friends to start a nightclub and restaurant marketing promotion company here in the Tampa Bay area. And we had such success that we ran for about 8 years throwing parties and started bringing in national acts and concerts. And that's really where I got into the marketing. Graphic design was something that I absolutely loved. I was an artist before computers were really around, and then Photoshop came around, and I taught myself how to really create impactful graphics and do things that were unique. I was always intrigued by commercials that would grab your attention, and I wanted to bring that to the public. And that's really why we were so successful. We were totally different with all of our flyer marketing. I spent many late night hours at Kinko's before we had the ability to do a lot of things on computers, cutting and pasting flyers, and just doing random fun stuff, flyering, and staying consistent with the flyering of all the campuses and all the local people around Tampa. And that yielded such great success that we had weekly events going on that would bring out 1,000+ people every week. So by using that media, by using that outside the box mentality with our marketing and staying consistent with it, we were able to really turn that business into a success. 8 years of being in the nightclub business, I got a little tired of being out to the late nights.
Go figure, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but it was time to move on and started dabbling in more of the corporate type of marketing, dealing with local businesses, smaller businesses, startup businesses, and that was just my passion to help other businesses succeed, make their marketing unique, make them differentiate themselves from the competition, and help bring in more business for them. So that's really how it evolved from the nightclub into more corporate, the graphic design end of things, understanding the inner workings of the psychology of the marketing, headlines, calls to actions, and all that. And that brings us to today, where we're dealing with the big fish, and thankful that we have a lot on board here. And I'm going to share some of that information with you today.
Aye, Captain. So I guess it's time to get right to it.
All right, Conrad, let's get out into it here. So, direct marketing is truly a weapon that everyone should have in their business arsenal. It's going to be the most effective and efficient way to build your sales, build your lists, and in turn, your bottom line. It's hands down the most reliable way to get your message in front of the right prospects, to get your message into the prospect's hand. There's no delete button on direct mail like there is email. So, right now is just an awesome time to be doing direct mail. Mass media is truly just a waste of time. People are just, inundated with so many messages on TV, email. People are becoming numb to email marketing. And you don't even need to take my word for it. I'm very proud to announce that today we've got Tom Feltenstein, a good friend of ours. Tom was Ray Kroc's protege and has become our mentor here at DMC. Tom has just countless numbers of corporations that he's worked with, like McDonald's, Disney, Ritz-Carlton, Coca-Cola, and the list just goes on and on. He's absolutely amazing and a true marketing legend. And Tom, thank you so much for joining us today. please share some of your wonderful information with our audience here. And again, just thank you so much for being here and sharing your knowledge.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Well, let me start off by saying this. My latest book was called Change is Good, You Go First. And if you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance a lot less. And I figured out the only people that want change is a baby with a wet diaper. So changing is very hard. And particularly several years ago, when the whole world was infected with mass media, television, radio, all of that stuff, I buried it at Arlington Cemetery and did the eulogy. Why would anybody run television today? Matter of fact, I got interviewed on Fox on the pregame Super Bowl, and for 6 minutes they kept asking me what I thought about the commercials, and I said they stunk. And as a matter of fact, you can see on YouTube the interview on Fox or many of the other interviews, Larry King Show, a whole bunch of them. But where I netted out with all the mass media and all of the waste that it brings it is my favorite domain, my favorite marketing strategy has been, always will be, is direct mail. I've never experienced anything stronger in my entire career other than at McDonald's back in those days when there were only 3 channels and, we did 2 all beef patties, lettuce, all that stuff. You couldn't, it worked phenomenally, but, you only had NBC, CBS, and ABC. Then you got hundreds or thousands of stations, where you can get all of your messages. I just did a direct mail in Toledo, Ohio. We mailed out 130,000 pieces. We had 37,000 redeemed for a 26.7% redemption. Unheard of. Unbelievable. In direct mail, it's not only that you can do saturation mailings within a 3-mile radius around your retail store, your restaurant, whatever it is, but what's really cool is in the businesses, the business-to-business programs, is where you go out and you said to those people that have 10 employees or more, and you promote the businesses. The other thing is birthdays. I love going out with birthdays and knowing what your demographics are, who your target audience is, and within a 1, 2, or 3 mile radius, we know whose every birthday is. If you want to go after women, men, children, Black, Hispanic, whatever it is, it's really cool. And we're getting 10, 15, 20% redemptions when we're doing that. Or what about a new resident that moves into your trading area? Why wouldn't we, after 30 days, why wouldn't we invite them into our locations, into our retail stores, our restaurants, whatever it may be, whatever kind of business that you're in, chiropractor, dentist, neurosurgeon, I don't know, just everybody. Is a tremendous opportunity to do direct mail. And the other thing that's really cool is when they come in with whatever the offer is you upsell them. So you get more money from them. What the direct mail does is to induce trial, to bring people in. But once you get them in, is that chance then is to upsell those people that are coming in. Now, direct mail's great, but what's really great is being remarkable. Where do you go to be remarkable today? It's very seldom that anyone can come up. When I say that, no one even knows what remarkable means. They'll say, well, I give great hospitality, I give great service, and that's remarkable. Well, boo. What's remarkable is my friend in the Lexus that was driving home, pulled out of the parking lot, and put her finger on the radio, and the first 3 stations that she pushed were her favorite 3 stations. She said, that's amazing. How could something like that happen? So she gets home, she calls the general manager. She says, sir, I love my new car, but you programmed my favorite radio stations. Impossible. How'd you do that? And he said, well, ma'am, it's real simple. when you traded in your new car, why wouldn't we listen to how you program your favorite radio stations? And why wouldn't we do that on your new car? Now that's remarkable. Or Charlie Gibson is interviewing General Earl Halston over in Iraq. Now bear in mind, the general is 3 miles off, ready to attack, ready to go in. And Charlie says to him, General, do you have any hobbies? Well, that's a pretty goofy question with a general ready to go in and attack in Iran. And he says, Charlie, as a matter of fact, I do. He says, well, what is it? He says, every day I take pictures of my troops and I send that letter home to the mom. And what I say is, Mrs. Smith, I'm honored to serve with your son in the United States Marine Corps. You did a magnificent job of raising him, and I'm so proud that he's part of my organization. And I just wanted to thank you very much for him being here and to let him know he's doing an awesome job. Sincerely, General Earl Halston. Now you guys tell me, is there anything better than that? Or I'm in Atlanta, and I'm getting off the airplane last April, and there were 2 most gorgeous ladies I've ever seen standing as I got out the door. And they said, sir, could you stop for a minute? I said, absolutely. The 2 gorgeous women said, do you have any plans tonight in Atlanta? I said, no, I don't. They said, well, are you free tonight? I said, absolutely, whatever you want. And they said, you like baseball? I said, I love it. They said, well, we have 2 tickets to the Atlanta Braves tonight. Would you like to use them? And I said, that would be awesome. So, can you imagine Delta Airlines doing something remarkable? Unbelievable. And I could go on and on about being remarkable. But if you want to build sales, and that's what everybody wants to do, is to build top-line sales. Now, as a manager, as the head of a company, what is your number 1 responsibility in running your business? And no one answers this, but your number 1 responsibility is recruiting. You see, business is no different than sports. The teams with the best players win. So, have you got turkeys or eagles working for you? Get rid of your turkeys. Hire eagles. Your sales will go up significantly with doing nothing else. Now, can you imagine that you're getting rid of your turkeys and you're bringing eagles in, and then you're doing a powerful direct mail campaign within a 3-mile radius of your location of where you're doing business? That rocks. Because we can invite them in through direct mail, but we can't get them to come back. So we've got to be sure that the people in the operation are the best they can be, recruited and trained, and are doing a phenomenal job. So what you've got to do out there is you've got to change. You've got to change the way you think. It's all about the 4 walls. I work with a client that's got 400 retail locations. They have 37 million visitors a year. If you're doing an awesome job, why would you need to spend a nickel outside the 4 walls? You don't. So once you get it right in the 4 walls, the only next thing that I recommend is direct mail within the radius of each one of the 400 locations. Now you do that, and you have great operations in your 4 walls, that direct mail is going to go off the charts for you, because it's not only inducing trial to come in the first time, but that means they're going to come back. Now, if they get a crappy experience when they're in, they're not going to come back. So you got to take care of inside first. Then you move to the direct mail, and then you hit a home run, and then the people are going to come back, and your sales are going to go up. And that's the answer. I know of no other way to do it. And the only time you're going to do it, really, is when something is at risk. Is when sales are down, profits are down, turnover is huge. And, you know, most people won't do anything unless there's something really big at risk. So go out, build the 4 walls, brand inside, and then go do your direct mail. Forget about mass media advertising, and you've nailed it. God bless you. Thanks for allowing me to visit with you.
Wow. You know, he's saying stuff we already all know to be true, but it's true and provocative because we've gone so far away from just, you know, taking control of your neighborhood with your marketing. And that's really how you generate success, is getting your message in front of the right people, not just blasting it out over the spraying and praying, as we like to call it. But yeah, thanks a lot, Tom. That was wonderful, wonderful.
Really appreciate you taking the time out to join us, and you're always full of just such great knowledge, and thanks for all your support, and we'll talk to you real soon, Tom. Thanks again.
So now that we know how effective direct marketing is, I guess we really need to get down into the strategy of it all. What really makes the direct marketing campaign work, Devin?
Sure. You know, there's really 5 simple steps to do just that, to make a campaign work. Number 1, you really need to identify your strengths. You can play to your strengths. If you don't know what they are, figure out what your business is great at and tout that attribute every chance that you get in your marketing. Train your employees to know what your strengths are as a company. They are the ambassadors of your message, and they should be able to deliver, you know, your message, your USP, you know, clearly and succinctly. So definitely train your entire staff on your goals and what you're trying to accomplish with your marketing. Number 2, you should identify the areas of opportunity. It's just as important to understand where your marketing is weakest, and you may need better copy, you may need better design, better offers. Is your marketing actually consistent enough? You know, there's always ways to improve on what you're doing with your marketing, and there's plenty of companies out there that can help you do just that. Number 3, we want to always segment your objectives. Of course, the goal is top-line sales, but it's critical to look at your statistics and determine how you should segment your objectives in terms of specific products versus specific services. And once you do that, your first reaction will be to prioritize the segment that is underperforming, which is actually the wrong approach. You don't want to go after the stuff that's doing bad. Look where you're doing the best and make that your biggest focus, and your marketing will definitely start paying off for you. Number 4, develop strategies. Once you clearly define your marketing objectives, you must develop a clear strategy to achieve your sales goals. Keep in mind there are 3 ways to build your sales. You can either increase frequency of current customers, increase new customers, or increase the average transaction. So make sure your strategy hones in on one of these 3 areas or all of the 3 areas. Number 5, this one is very big, consistency of your message. When you come up with that perfect strategy, it's important that the message you deliver is consistent in every medium it's seen. This will make your marketing much more effective and far less confusing. No matter what your objectives are, there's a path to get there with a properly executed strategy. Whether by trial or error or by using a firm like DMC, it's imperative that you follow these steps when developing your marketing strategies.
That's very interesting stuff. I especially like the part about focusing on where you're already good at. That's where your marketing efforts should really go.
Do that.
Everyone wants to be great at everything. Focus on what you do well and accentuate it.
Correct. Yeah, exploit the heck out of it. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So now we got the strategy down, a little more packed. We know where we need to go with our marketing. We understand our goals.
Right.
When it comes to the actual campaign itself, what goes into it? What do we need to make sure is present for that campaign to succeed?
Well, there are about 8 elements to every successful campaign. So I'm going to review those with everybody now. So grab your pen, take some notes. We'll actually have some of these slides available for you to download as well, so you can keep them in your records and, you know, just as refreshers. Number 1, you got to absolutely have the right list. You should know who your target customer is. You should know the avatar. You know, as much detail as you can on your current list and who you're targeting. Once you understand their profile, you can acquire the proper list. This is the advantage of direct marketing over other types of media. You actually can pinpoint market who you're sending your marketing to. So, you know, we really want to make sure that your prospects that you're sending to are most likely to buy your product and service, because if you're sending to a bad list, you're just wasting
money. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know, next I would say you want to have eye-catching design. We've got to interrupt pattern interrupt here with whatever you're sending out. So unique packaging, unique graphics. You've got to catch their eye and capture their attention, which is always very hard to do in this day and age. This is where something like a video book, our print-o-vision product, maybe lumpy, bulky mail pieces that really outperform and outshine standard static postcards. But with some of the campaigns, postcards are the only viable option, and for budget reasons as well. So that's where you really have to take a graphic design, to the next level. And with personalization, variable data printing, you can not only personalize all the data that you have in your list and put that onto the postcard, you can actually now take the information and tie it into the graphical elements of the postcard, which will actually give your mail piece a lot more staying power. People actually will keep it. They'll put it up on their fridge, they may put it up on their wall. The two favorite things of most people are the first and last name, so you can use that to your advantage in all of your marketing, even your postcards.
Okay.
All right, so being unique with your postcard mailers and just your marketing in general is going to pay off, and really, is half the battle when you're marketing. So just do things differently and stand out. Third, we're going to talk about front-loading a campaign, and that's really a term that we use a lot here at DMC. When a prospect has never heard of you, it's very wise to front-load the campaign with your most impressive marketing piece. First impressions are everything. If you can grab that prospect's attention with the first piece, it will make the subsequent drops that much more effective. So really use something unique to grab their attention, turn that cold lead into a warm lead. Number 4, we're going to concisely demonstrate your value. Copy can make or break your campaign. You want to be as concise as possible in identifying your prospects' pain points and demonstrate how you can take their pain away. Be as clear as possible and try to really hit on their emotions. You know the most objections that you get, so use those to your advantage and squash them right there on that mail piece and strike on their emotions, and that's really going to help out with all of your marketing. Number 5, crafting a risk-free, irresistible offer. Not only should you offer, you should take all that risk on you and make it very easy for the end client to make a decision. You want to eliminate the prospect's objections before they even happen. And the easiest way to do that is to put that money-back guarantee out there so they have no skin in the game. They really feel they can try you out and understand how you work before they're throwing all their money at you. Mm-hmm. Next, create urgency and scarcity. By doing this, you're having an expiration date and making sure that expiration date is no further than about 30 days out from when they're receiving that mail piece, which will cause them to take action quickly. You also want to create scarcity, so possibly saying that there's only 10 spots left. We're giving away 10 of these particular offers, and as your mail drops go on, those offers can get less and less. So for instance, you've got 10 people that are able to get that offer. Next mailing you've got 6 people, and then the next mailing you've got 2 people, and it's their last chance. So build up that scarcity that'll ultimately turn people into getting them to move on an option and move on an offer that you're putting forth towards them. Everyone struggles with this next topic here, your call to action. Having a strong call to action can make or break a campaign, and no one knows exactly what the silver bullet is when it comes to a call to action, so split testing and taking different segments and testing some offers out is really what we recommend. So, once you've eliminated your prospects' objections, you need to really dummy-proof the next steps that they take. Keep it very simple, keep it clear, spell it out for them so they can easily transition from a prospect into a new customer. Adding value, different things like that can really get them to take action right then and there. The percentage thing, the dollar off thing, people are numb to that these days. So do something that has some good added value. And most importantly, you have to be consistent with your marketing. We see it time and time again where people just fail with their marketing because they're sending out one mailing and expect a huge response from one mailing. It truly takes several drops for your prospect to even begin to identify your brand and your message. Every campaign should at least be 3 drops. Statistics say that it truly takes about 7 to 8 impressions to get them to take notice. So, it's a never-ending battle. You've got to stay consistent, stick to your guns, and it really, being consistent with any of your marketing is what ultimately is going to drive success. Got to commit yourself and you really, really will understand how successful direct mail and direct marketing can be, and just don't give up on it after a couple times.
Very true with the consistency. One point I'd like to come back to is the front loading of the campaign. Why is it that we feel you should front load when everyone else likes to say, save that piece for last, or make a person opt in to get that special piece?
Well, the chances are if you just send out something that's just status quo and standard, it's just going to go in the trash. So you're already spending the money to go after these prospects. You know, you're trying to create an opportunity to get on the phone and call them, and they know who you are. I mean, that's a huge thing. You take that cold call and turn it into a warm call. You can't beat that. So by sending something that is unique and different up front, they're immediately, going to notice you. You're going to be on the radar screen. So that's why we instantly want to get in front of them. And a lot of times we'll see that people will contact you after that first mailing, and then you can take them off the the different drops thereafter, which ends up saving you money anyway. But if you're investing in this, go ahead and give them something to take notice on, and just be unique and different right off the bat.
Imagine if people didn't front load their efforts to get a job. They really half-assed the resume, and they're like, well, when he calls me in, I'm really going to put my best foot forward then. It would never work.
Absolutely.
Never work. Yeah.
Set yourself apart, people. It's really what's going to make a difference for you in your market.
Only one chance to make a first impression.
This is true.
That's a lot of information to take in, Devin. But I gotta say, it's pretty refreshing to hear real, legitimate information. For God's sakes, you didn't even say game changer once.
Not even once. I didn't even say epic, ultimate. This is real-time marketing information. We're really sending out campaigns every week. I own a marketing company. This is stuff that we do on a daily basis. I just don't come up with stuff from reading a book. These are things that we implement for our clients, and we get that data and we share it with all of our clients that we work with, and even people that don't work with us.
Yeah, really the only way to create predictable growth, predictable success in a company is with effective marketing. Right. And using a marketing firm is generally probably the best way to go, even if it's not with DMC. So that wasn't a pitch. I don't think you're getting a campaign. That wasn't a pitch. It was a suggestion. Totally different thing. All right, so now that we know exactly how to get a prospect to indicate interest, what do you do when that lead comes in? How do you make sure all that effort doesn't get wasted?
Oh yeah, well, it's amazing. People are spending all this money on marketing, and they're getting the leads, they're getting people to fill out opt-in forms, and they don't know what to do after that. So today we're going to bring in a good friend of mine and a business coach, and really a strategist on really what you do when that lead comes in the door, how you should handle that lead, get all your staff to really work together, and we're going to pass it on over to Preston Rahne. So Preston, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm glad you could be part of this workshop, and tell these people that once those big fish or prospects call in, how should they handle that? Go ahead and explain your processes on how everything works.
Hey, thanks Devin and Conrad. It's a pleasure to be here. And thanks for having me. So you made a good point. You have to have a real good marketing system, and you guys provide, a great system through direct marketing. Direct marketing is a great way to generate the leads. One of the things that a lot of salespeople fail on is they make the mistake that, they think that the marketing is like what pre-sold them, and they don't really have the complete system down to make the close. And really what happens is only about 10% of the close really occurs in the marketing. So it really comes onto the shoulders of the sales consultant or the sales rep that's taking those leads in. So what happens when a lead comes in from your marketing efforts? You really have to, what I like to teach is you really have to find the pain. Why is it that they're there in the first place? They obviously took an action from the marketing efforts, and, the marketing is just one piece of it. The sale really gets closed from that salesperson. So I've developed a system through my book. I wrote about my system in it's called the easy sales process. And I call it the easy sales process because it is It's easy and it works. And so there's a few steps in there, and I'd like to just kind of point out a couple of the things. The first thing that I really teach my clients is you got to have the right mindset. You got to be in the right state of mind, and really have to put yourself in the shoes and mindset or perspective. That's another good word that I like, the perspective of your potential client. And so one of the things that you can really do is, I call it my 2-minute agreement. What this does is it sets something called frame control. And frame control is really, it's where two frames, when two people meet each other's own frame, they collide. And so one of them is going to be dominant. And it's kind of like a pack of dogs. When there's a group of dogs, one of them is going to be the alpha dog and the other ones become submissive. So this all happens on the subconscious level. It's very important to kind of pay attention to these things. Now, one of the easiest ways that we can do, this is a big tip right here. One of the big things that you can do to establish frame control is to do it around time. So if you have like a 60-minute time frame that you're going to be on the phone with somebody, you just say it up front, and you say, look, what we're going to do in the next 60 minutes is this. And then you just say, I'm going to find out a little bit about you. And then if there's a fit, what I'd like to do is tell you about some of the things that we can do for you. As a marketing agency, you're going to tell them about your services. If you're a coach, you're going to want to tell them about, your programs and things like that. And once they say okay and they agree to that, you've established yourself as the alpha person in there, and now you can lead them down a path. And it's really just like getting permission. Like when you come up, a lot of people say ABC, always be closing. I have a problem with this because think about it. If you come up to a door and it's closed, what do you do? If it's locked, you got to turn around and go away. So, closing the sale to me is not really the right term. I like to say I don't really teach closing techniques. I teach opening techniques. And that's one of the key things is that 2-minute agreement. If you implement that into your sales process, you're going to really start removing that sales pressure that both sides have, and it just makes the sale real easy. So after the 2-minute agreement, this is really, we basically have permission now to ask them questions, because we said, I'm going to find out a little bit about you, and then I'll tell you a little bit about me. And if there's a fit, then we can go in and talk about, the services that we offer. And this is where you just get in and you start asking them questions. You want to find out, I call it contrast. And really what you want to do is you want to create a gap. And the gap is created when you find their pain and when you position to have them think about the future. In NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, it's called future pacing. And so what you're doing is you're getting them to see where they are right now and to realize that. And then you need to get them on a path to move them away from that. It's just a little psychological thing there where it's like if you have a headache, you want to get rid of that headache now. So you want to move them away from that pain. And that's what you do through these questions. Now, it's very important that you really write down. Like I always write down, I have a piece of paper always that I write down all their pains. Actually, sometimes what I'll do is I'll draw a line down the center and I'll put pain on the left and passion on the right. So I want to find out what their passions are. And we really can't go to closing the sale until we let our potential client know that we understand their pain. So writing down the answers to the questions that they ask, or the questions that you ask, writing down their answers is very important because you want to relay them those answers back to them. You want to say things like, all right, so you told me that, you have this problem, this challenge, and this pain. If we could help you overcome those 3 things, is that going to be something that's valuable to you? And so by you just doing that little statement right there, it shows that you understand their pain. It shows that you listened. And this is one of the key things that salespeople have a big problem with is they don't listen. So asking questions and listening, you've probably heard it before. You want to talk, 30% of the time and listen like 70% of the time. So when you ask questions, it makes that easy, but you need to let them know that you understand their pain, and then you can position this helps you position yourself as the solution to pain, to that problem, to that challenge. So that gets into our close. And, I have in my book, I have the 7-step process, and basically I call it my Torah steps, T-O-R-A. And this is basically how we do our close. And it's basically just transitioning to your offer. That's the T, transition. The O is your offer. You want to offer them something. And then the R is you need to give a recommendation and a reason why. And then you want to basically ask them for the sale. So it might go something like this. Okay, so, and before I do, let me preface this. When you do a close, the easiest way to close somebody without closing them is to let them close themselves. And the easiest way to do that is to have 2 options. And usually it's a high-priced option and a low-priced option. So you would say something like, okay, so if we could help you with A, B, and C, would that be valuable to you? Everybody will say yeah, because they want to hear your offer, your recommendation. So you say, great, we've got a couple of options for you. Option 1 is this, and then you give them the details of what they get, and you say this is your investment. Let's just say it's $10,000. And then option 2, you go through and you say, all right, our second option is we do this, and let's say that one is $2,500. Then we go through and we give our recommendation and reason why. So you would say, now look, based on what you told me in our conversation earlier, option 2 seems like a better fit for you at this time. Get started with this, and once we get some results, then, we can work you out the higher price product. So that's the recommendation and the reason why. I recommend option 2 because based on what you told me in our conversation, this seems like it's a good fit for you. Everybody always wants to know why. And then just asking for the sale is just saying, now, which of those options works best for you at this time? And this is a great formula that you can go through. And the key here, too, is you really want to make people take action now. So when you give them these options, they're basically themselves. If you ask enough questions, you found enough pain, and they see you as a solution, they're going to want to go forward with the solution and the recommendation that you have for them. Now, of course, there's always going to be objections. Everybody's going to always object. Unless you did a really awesome job, they're going to say, yeah, I'd like to do option 2, let's sign up. And then you can start with the paperwork. But most likely what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, I don't have that kind of money right now. Or they might say something, we're just kind of looking right now. So you really need to understand that people, they're going to say these things around time and money. So if you can practice what you're going to say before you go into that conversation around time and money, then it's going to be a lot easier. You can deal with that before you actually offer your solution to their problem. So you want to try to deal with that in the steps where you're asking questions. But that's just it. Once you figure out let's just say somebody says, I don't have the money. I can't afford $2,500 right now. So what you could say is you kind of go back to the questions. You say, okay, so, what you could ask a question like this: what would work well for you? Maybe what if we broke that into payments? Could you do a couple payments? Would that help you out? You want to give them some options. And then you just go right back into the Torah statements. Okay, so if we could do that, would that be something that you'd like to do right now? And most likely they're either going to still say yes, or they're going to still say no, or they're going to say yes, that works out for me. And then that's it. So you really want to give them that recommendation. You want to give them some options, and you want to give them a reason why. And then once you do that, then all you have to do is fulfill on exactly what you promised them. And your fulfillment, if you say you're going to do something, just do it. That's really what it is. That's what fulfillment is. And then you just get into some of the back end steps, like, doing your upsells. If there's any additions, like the classic one they say is if you go to McDonald's, they say, would you like fries with that? That's kind of the upsell. So you want to be able to position that. It depends on the service that you're offering. So you don't always have to have an upsell. But one of the things that you do, want to do is follow up with people. This is the biggest thing. If somebody says that they're not ready right now, you need to have a follow-up system in place. And direct mail is a great way to stay in touch with people that aren't ready to go forward right now. And most likely, you're going to get a bunch of people to say yes, but you're also going to get a lot of people to say no. So if you realize that, you need to have a follow-up system in place that's going to allow you to stay in touch with these people so that when they are ready to go forward, they think of you. So that's pretty much my process, and then comes in, how to kind of structure it from the get-go, doing opening, strategies or statements rather than closing. And the close is really, just a few minutes. So if you ask the right questions and you find their pain, you get them moving, and you get them to a point where they want to move away from that pain, then it's just simply saying, great, this is what we can do for you. So I hope that helps you guys, and I think I'm going to throw it back to you guys, and let me know if you have any other questions. This is Preston Rahne, and if you want to find my book, you can go on Amazon. You can just type my name in, but it's The New Rules of Success, and you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. You can just type the word sales. You can type the word coach, sales trainer, any of those words. I'm usually at the top. So Preston Rahne, thanks a lot.
Really appreciate you, being on this workshop with us, and if you're out there, reach out to Preston. Just give him a call, see how he can help you fill that gap on closing deals once those prospects do pick up the phone or fill out that opt-in form. Get on the horn with Preston and see how he can help you out.
Okay, well, we've talked about strategy, we've talked about the perfect campaign. Now, what you're all probably waiting for, what you all probably signed up for, is how to land a whale. And we're going to tell you right now exactly how DMC has landed our whale clients. Absolutely.
Well, landing those big clients can really make or break your business throughout the year. Back in the day, we used to just try to mass market and pick up any business that we could get. And I know a lot of business owners were like that. Let's just take in everything. But, dealing with the masses, they really end up being the pains in the, you can fill in the blank there. But, focusing and pinpoint focusing on, 10, 25, 50 whale prospects is something that we highly recommend, and doing that is going to get you the prospects and the types of people that you want to work with. And not every business is set up to do that, so you can always do a bigger demographic, but really a set target demographic that you want to go after, that are the people that you want to work with, you enjoy working with. And catching these big fish is a daunting task, and going after them, it's not the easiest thing to do, but we really have a strategy that we're going to share with you here, and hopefully you take advantage of that to catch some big fish of your own. So time to get that rod and reel ready, and throw the right bait on there, and see how we can help you get these big fish in the door.
You had to go there, didn't you?
I had to go there.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard fisherman, and that's why we kind of use this term between the last GKIC conference we were at with the Shark Tank and talking about how to get the affluent. So we want to turn this into how you can catch the big fish. So having that pinpoint precise list, identify 5, 20, 50 whales that you really want to go after that are those ideal clients for you, and do your due diligence. Pick up that phone, make some calls, make sure you're going after the decision maker and you got the right contacts information and address, and that's going to be the first part of the success. Second, you've heard us mention this prior, front loading your campaign. By doing something different, unique, something that's going to grab these top-level CEOs by surprise, because they're getting inundated with so many messages, text messages, IM, emails, phone calls. You got to do something extraordinary, do something unique. Don't do any cheeseball types of plastic trinkets or anything like that. Send them some high-end branded pen sets, classy branded letter openers. You can create a whole theme for your actual campaign, but use high-end stuff. These clients could be worth thousands and thousands, if not $10,000, $20,000 to
Millions.
Millions possibly, depending on what business you're in. Now is a great time to take a few moments out to spotlight some of the products that DMC uses to catch the big fish.
Have you seen the VersaRec system yet? It's a custom printed package that contains a flash drive and a detachable business card. It's an all-in-one marketing solution. The innovative packaging offers clients plenty of room for branding and marketing, while the enclosed flash drive allows them to digitally distribute their catalogs, brochures, videos, and other marketing materials. Because it's reusable, the imprinted flash drive also continues to provide branding for years to come. The VersaRep system, a better, greener, more effective way to market your business.
Introducing the Flip. It is proven that if you get your audience to interact with your marketing, your response rates will as much as double than using standard marketing. That is why we developed the Flip. It is the size of a large postcard, but has 4 sides for you to get your multiple messages and imagery across to the viewer. This marketing piece has the wow factor and a long shelf life to keep your brand in front of your audience for a very long time. Introducing the DMC Heart Attack. Immediately grab your recipient's attention with your next handout or mailer. Our rubber band loaded popper can be inserted into your next marketing piece to ensure you and your brand get the attention that you deserve.
The money mailer. This mailer is guaranteed to instantly get noticed when it hits the mailboxes. So if you're trying to get through the gatekeepers and get your message read, the money mailer is the right product for you. It's in a 9x12 crystal clear envelope with a die-cut dollar bills inside that if you leave on a table actually looks like real $100 bills, and it has your branding and your message and your offer right there on the back for everyone to see. So another great product by DMC, always looking out to get you the best products that get your message read.
This is our calendar product, and of course with our technology it gives us the capability to personalize everyone's picture in here. So whoever you're sending to, the database that you have, we can personalize the image. So right here you're seeing the last name of the person we sent this to. Not only can you personalize the graphic, but you can personalize special events that you may have. You can put different seminars, you can put different meetings down on particular dates that you have here. So we can design this, we print this all in-house, and then we can also mail it directly to your prospect or current client for you. Once again, coming up with creative ideas to make you stand out amongst your competition. This is our calendar product, and you really need to get one of these today. Monthly mini-zines, the answer to consistent marketing. Why use boring old newsletters when you can have your own branded magazine? You want to be the authority in your industry? Well, use DMC's Shook, short book, to set you up as the expert in your industry. And of course, if you want your marketing to get noticed, DMC prides ourselves on developing the most unique, effective marketing products and multi-drop campaigns in the industry. You can focus on your business goals while we simplify your marketing. With our award-winning graphic design service, the only limitation is your imagination. We will handle any graphic design you need, from your business cards to elaborate multi-drop campaigns. We also are here to make your branding cohesive and effective. Whether you need a new logo or a facelift to your current brand, we are here to make you look amazing. Put DMC's creativity and years of marketing know-how to work for you and your company today.
Go all out. Don't just hit them once. Hit them probably, I would say, 6 to 8 times. And some of you may call that shock and awe, package, or the shock and awe campaign. Whatever you want to call it, make sure you're hitting them multiple times and keeping that information in front of them and showing proof of concept and testimonials that will really help you out. And do all that, and you really will land some of these big whales. And it's only going to take a couple of those to change your business.
Now wait, Devin. Wait. You can say all you want about how you land the whale.
Right.
What whales have we landed?
Well, again, we've done the spray and pray method. We've hit the masses, and we've got hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of clients through the years. And it's just so much to take in, because the more clients you get, the more overhead, and it's just a vicious cycle. So we really started pinpointing higher end type of prospects, I would say probably about 3-4 years ago, and that just changed our business tremendously. We've landed clients like Allstate, American Airlines Center, College Hunks Hauling Junk. We did work for Exit Realty Corporate. The list goes on and on. GKIC, we had a lot of top level marketers that now turn to us for our ideas. So just by sending out unique products, sending out unique campaigns and staying consistently in front of people, it's proof right there. I mean, we've landed these people ourselves. We do it all the time for our clientele, and you know, we know it can be done. So if you're looking to land the big fish and reel those puppies in, you know, DMC is a team that can really help you out with all of that.
Absolutely. And it's just, we've covered so much today, and I know that the idiom, it's not really even an idiom, but what you hear constantly at these GKIC kind of shows is that having something out there is better than nothing. That's true, but then sometimes it's getting that initial thing out there and then building upon it, and just fine-tuning everything.
Yeah, you got to be different, and I've mentioned that many times here, but you know, sending out something that's templated, to us it's just not something you should do, because if accountant over here has a newsletter and you're down the street from him and your newsletter looks exactly the same, it doesn't set the right message. So everything that we do here at DMC is custom to your needs, to your goals. We customize the entire campaign so it's a fresh look for you. We're not going to have the same, you know, postcard that's going out in New Jersey going out for someone else in California. You know, everything is unique and different, and that's what we preach, and really we take it from start to finish, all the creative concepts for it, the copywriting. I've just got a phenomenal team of copywriting experts, designers, marketing people that just understand the inner workings of everything that's going on, so you can focus on your business. We really help you develop the entire campaign. Not only that, we print the campaign for you, we do all the handwork, and we also get it off to the USPS. And again, I'm just filling you in on what we do.
Not a pitch.
Not a pitch.
Not a pitch.
But, hey, if you're interested, find a company like ours, or if you want to reach out to us, we would love to sit down and talk business with you, talk marketing strategies, and see how a company like ours can work with yours and make sure we're the right fit for each other.
And you can get us at info@yourdmc.com or 813-579-9540.
That concludes our Big Fish workshop today. We hope you got a lot of great information. Remember, stay consistent, focus on your current clients, focus on retention, then you can always focus on prospecting. But if you want to catch the big fish, follow the rules that we taught you today. It's about time that we're out of here and go have a nice day on the water. So thanks for joining us today. Conrad, phenomenal job. Tom and Preston, we really appreciate you joining us as well.
Let's go reel them in, baby.
Oh yeah, here we go.